What's happening, people? So I thought today was going to be the day we were going to purchase World Cup tickets. Let's turn that down. Check, check, check. Can you hear me? Yeah. Thought this was going to be a day that purchased World Cup tickets. But it's not what's going on. So I'm going to scroll around the site. It seems like I want to refresh the site. It seems like you needed to get this email from Visa, some Visa presale email. Yo, chart it. Always on. What's happening, bro? This is back to the World Cup ticket stuff. Champions League stream coming soon for Barcelona. How's the edit coming, brother? I'm going to click on this. It's asking me to type in a sign-in code. What's going to take? I'm only stopping by for a little bit because I'm on the bus. Oh, what's up? On the bus. You posted the new intro? I haven't seen it yet. The new one, the vertical one we were talking about? That's exactly why I'm hopping on. Welcome to your FIFA ticketing account. The FIFA World Cup 26 presale draw for cardholders opened on September 10th at 11 Eastern, which is right now. Following a random selection process, FIFA will be notifying of your results no earlier than September 29th, which was 2 days ago. You'll be notified via email whether or not you've been successful. Definitely didn't get notified whether that I wasn't successful. If you were not successful, you will be informed on a specific date. If you are successful, you'll be informed on a specific date and time slot, which you can purchase tickets subject to availability. Additionally, successful entrants may receive notification up to 48 hours before their designated time, with time slots starting October 1st. So today is October 1st. I haven't been given a time slot. I haven't received an email, but I'm just doing an update because I told you we'd be back October 1st. Guillermo, you're in queue. Okay. So you got an email and you got a time slot. You're getting a window. How's that working for you? Because I did not receive an email. Please update your contact information regularly. Maybe I can double check that they have the right contact information. What's up, puppy? The dog wants to sit and purchase tickets too, but we don't have a window. So yeah, I went into my email, y'all. Haven't gotten anything. Guillermo Blummer says he is in queue. He's got his window. So we're just trying to figure it out. What is what? PSG or Chelsea, choose a club. Chelsea is my club. PSG, where some of my favorite players play, brother. So like today, Chelsea won yesterday. Today, PSG get to play Barca, and we're going to see. Yes, I got the email in my window with the time slot is today. Currently in queue, just waiting to get inside to buy my tickets. Fire. All right. I'm curious what your email looked like. Because being in queue is perfect. That's what we're trying to do. But we didn't get any email. No, it makes me want to go back to the FIFA ticketing and figure out what email we got. If we got an email. And it's possible that we just didn't. That's the other possibility. Like they said they're going to prioritize sending out the you got an email emails first. I'm just going to double check my account really quickly. Profile information, FIFA ID. And that's my email. Okay, so it's got the right email. So let's type FIFA. So this might be a short little morning stream, y'all, just because I didn't get an email. So I have no time slot, so I can't buy tickets. I'm curious, yo, Guillermo, if you stay in, if you tap back in once you're available to tell us what your process looks like going through, because I'm just pissed I didn't receive an email. Last email from FIFA was September 10th, actually. Entry submitted, Visa presale draw, nothing else. Y'all, if you guys want to talk a little footy, Champions League stream starts today, later, in about 4 hours, give or take, when PSG take on Barcelona. That's when I'm going to be doing that. But right now, this stream is all about trying to secure tickets for the FIFA World Cup here in the United States. So I'm going to open up the window. For Gmail, I'll tell you what it says. FIFA stream after. Charters. FIFA is going FIFA Fridays, my friend. We're doing Champions League stream and World Cup. All right, so I'll tell you what it says. This is the email I got on September 10th. You see this? You guys can't read that. My stuff is starting to slow down. There we go. It says, thank you for entering the World Cup 26 presale draw. We're thrilled that you've shown interest in attending a sort football event. It's saying the same thing it says to me on the website, which is a random selection draw will take place, and I should be notified no earlier than the 29th of September. Time slots will be starting October 1st, which is today. But I didn't get a time slot. Let's see what if Guillermo is still on. Guillermo Blummer says, On Monday, I received my email to get my window, and then they said today, starting at 11 Eastern time, that was your window for pre-sale. So that's why you're on the website right now. So Guillermo is keeping us up to date. I didn't receive an email, so I can't even go to the website. I can't even go in the queue. I'm curious, Guillermo, if the website looked different for you. Africa will never unite says, what's up with the discipline of our team? Talking about Chelsea with 3 red cards in 4 games. Killian says, what's up? What's up, Killian? Some teams have not even qualified, so we are confused. So yeah, so Africa will I'll let you know what's going on. And again, I've been to about 4 World Cups now, so the process is similar but different every time. This is the essentially pre-sale or early ticket draw that they call the lottery draw, the phase 1 or phase 2 lottery that happens before the World Cup qualifying ends. So World Cup qualifying doesn't end until December. I think the draw for the World Cup will take place on my birthday on December 5th. But as it has in the past World Cups, they have a phase 1 ticket draw where you can go and select tickets based on the cities and the dates that you want to attend. And since this is a big World Cup, it's going to be across 16 cities between Mexico, United States, and Canada. It's for me, I want to just get in early like I usually do without knowing what games are going to take place. Even though we do know to a certain extent, we know the host cities, right? So we know the U.S. are playing in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium, the first match. So that's a ticket I'm going to be trying to secure. That should be on June 19th, I believe, of 2026. I also want to secure tickets in Mexico City. I want to secure tickets in Atlanta. I want to secure tickets in Toronto. So I'm just trying to secure some tickets at its cheapest, which shouldn't be any more than $200 bucks, $250. And by December 5th, they're going to announce the draw and announce what teams you have. That's how I've done it in the past. That's what we did for Qatar. We just picked stadiums because it was all in one city. It was all in Qatar. And once they announced the draw, I got to see that I got Brazil versus Switzerland and U.S. versus Iran, things like that. So that's what we're doing today. I'm just kind of giving an update on what I know about the pre-sale ticket draw and what has happened to me. Hopefully Guillermo stays with us. He is one person in the chat who actually has a time slot to purchase World Cup tickets. So we're going to just see. But for me, doesn't look like I was able to get this email, which is unfortunate. And when I go to the FIFA website, it just takes me in this loop. So I have no ability to get tickets today, and that's what it looks like. Even if I click explore details. Hello. Let's see. Painting with Marks in the building. What's up? Guillermo says, unfortunately, I can't screenshot what my screen looks like, but as of right now, still in queue, and the email looks different from the one that you showed before. I have the exact first one as well. Okay. I appreciate you, Guillermo, for keeping us up to date, man. Hopefully you're able to go and secure tickets. Would love for you to stay on. I mean, obviously, go when you get through the queue, go get your things, but I'd love for you to tell us what it looked like. Africa, this is a great question. I will not personally. I actually tried to do that for Qatar, and it didn't end up very fruitful. I would call it the American way of doing it. There's going to be a lot of resales in this American market. I'm not going to do that. I don't even want to promote that anymore. It's more about getting tickets, and if anything, if I resell, it's more so that I can't attend the game personally. So I would go and give these tickets to somebody or have them purchase them from me at the same face value. But I'm not doing any more resale, upsell things. You know, I'll give you an example. The way they did it in Qatar, I was in this same early ticket phase draw, and I purchased like 6 tickets per each game we got, right? So I got 6 tickets to Brazil versus Switzerland, 6 tickets to US versus Iran, 6 tickets to France versus Tunisia. Those were my games, my group stage games that I got. And once, you know, the tickets are electronic, but they came to this kind of app, this Haya app that they gave you. And once I got to Qatar, that's when I decided I would sell the tickets. But it's not like I could get paper tickets. And when you try to transfer the tickets on the app, it will transfer all but one. Like if you bought tickets, then it will ensure that your ticket stays with you because it didn't want to have you resell. So so I should have bought an odd number is what I mean. So I should have bought 7 tickets. So then I would get 1 ticket for myself, even if I wasn't going to the game, which I did go to all 3 games. And then I could have sold off 6 tickets, you know, pairs, 2x2x2 or whatever, 3 and 3, whatever. But it was so difficult to do it. And when I was in front of stadiums, even trying to like say, hey, I'll send somebody tickets, I'm trying to sell them at face value. It was a hassle, man. There were people walking around doing all kinds of stuff. So it was a little wild. So for me, I'm out of the ticket resale game. I think this is not the kind of competition you want to do for profit. You want to just get tickets that, this is kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity for it to be here in the United States again. Maybe not once in a lifetime, but once definitely in a generation. I was too young to really understand what was going on in '94 when I wasn't too young, but it wasn't as significant as it is obviously now. Guillermo says, my goal is getting tickets where I live close by, which is Kansas City. That makes sense. So yeah, it looks like I don't have any way to get these tickets. I just clicked tickets again. I just checked my email again. Certainly not coming to me. I'm going to stay on live here as long as Guillermo is here because I want to see what his process is like so we can know. For people who didn't get the email, even regardless of whether you signed up for this visa presale, our early window officially opens. It says on the website on October 27th. So my friend's already texting me. Constantinos the Great. What he says. What do I think about Arsenal Olympiacos match? Any predictions? Nah, brother. The only match I'm worried about today is PSG versus Barca. Arsenal Olympiacos. I'm pretty sure Arsenal will dig it out. I know you guys, you Greeks, are serious when you get to the Champions League. We saw, what Paphos was doing for a little bit until they got run over. So we're gonna see. I'll show you the other screen was just it telling me that this was my FIFA ticketing account. Again, it says the pre-sale should start October 1st, but you have to get an email for a time slot. That's what it says. And I never got an email. Let's see what it says on match schedule. I will definitely stay here on cue. I'll let you know what's going on around here. Appreciate us. My dog, appreciate you, Guillermo. So Guillermo, guys, he is on the site. He got an email. He is in the queue. So he's going to let us know what he sees once he gets in there. He's going to try to get his tickets today. This is the FIFA match schedule. This is how the Qatar one looked too. Kind of hard to read. So, but this is what you would want to use once you get to the point where you're ticket purchasing. So for me, I don't even know if you can see this, but I want tickets in Los Angeles. You can already see that USA is playing. It's actually going to be June 11th that they play the opening match against M4, whoever is going to be in their group. I told you I'm also looking at Mexico City. I really want to go there. I might look at a knockout stage game in Mexico City. Those are going to be, it says 29th of June. So 29th of June, 30th, June 30th in Mexico City is what I'm looking at. Man, not a lot of games in Mexico City. And then they have a round of 16 game as well. So I might look at that knockout game in Mexico City. And I also wanted to look at Toronto. And maybe I would do like a quarterfinal in Toronto. But Toronto doesn't have a quarterfinal. So maybe I do a round of 16 in Mexico City. That would be July 8th. And then in Toronto, I would do this, let's say July 2nd game. Man, really only group stage games. Or maybe I go to the group stage in the early stages, Mexico City, because I'd like to go to, unfortunately, you can't really, it's like one game a week in Mexico City. So you can't, one game every 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Yeah, every week. So what I was interested in is like maybe seeing a couple games, like going into Mexico City on a Thursday, seeing a game, staying for the weekend, and then seeing a game on a Tuesday. Can't do that. The best I can do is go on a Thursday, the 14th of June. And if I stay long enough, I can see Mexico play on Wednesday, that following Wednesday. That means I'd have to be there for a week. I don't think I could do that. Halil said Galatasaray won. Yep, Galatasaray beat Liverpool yesterday. Champions League was popping yesterday. Again, guys, we're going to get Champions League live stream going again in a couple hours here. The game of the day for me is going to be Barcelona versus PSG. Highly anticipated. We're all ready for that one. Nuno Mendes versus Lamine Yamal. Guillermo says, apparently after the NQ screen that I'm currently in, it will appear a countdown. Then after the countdown, I'll be able to get in. That's what we did for this pre-sale draw when we all signed up for it on September 10th. So hopefully it'll be the same, and hopefully you don't have any issues getting in. So that's where we are, man. So even if I look at these dates, I want to get June 12th, USA versus whoever they play in the first round in LA. I want to get Mexico City, and most likely I'll get Mexico City for June 24th. I want to get some Atlanta games. I might go and try to get a semifinal match in Atlanta, which that looks like July 14th. So the schedule's kind of hard to read, but it's not bad. How can I participate? Trista Pay, we haven't, unfortunately, this is not the open kind of session, and I can't even participate. So we're waiting. We have Guillermo over here on the, in the chat. He says, definitely not committing the same mistake as before. Not using Chrome in Safari is way better. So that's a good point. So he's saying it's easier for him. It's been easier for him to work in Safari. Last time I was in Chrome, I did okay. But I will say, as I'm clicking around now on the website, it is a little glitchy. Guillermo, does it tell you how long? Does it tell you how long your queue is? It's another thing we're trying to figure out. I'm disappointed I haven't gotten an email. Again, they say if you don't get an email, you will just be able to sign up during the World Cup ticket draw. The normal window. And the normal window is expected to take place from October 22nd to October 27th. I'm sorry, October 27th to October 31st. That's called phase 2 early ticket draw. So technically this is phase 1, the Visa presale draw. And that was, it started on the September 10th when we all had to apply to be considered for the presale draw. And once we applied, we're supposed to be getting an email. Jihei is also in the queue. Okay. So we got a couple of people who got the emails, who are in queue and got emails to do it. Guillermo says, it's not showing me how long it is. I just have a red type of circle and in the middle, the queue sign. Okay, got it. So there's no timer. Because you remember when we signed up for the tickets originally, or signed up to be admitted into the lottery for the tickets, it had that same thing. You guys can go back on one of my previous live streams where I show it. You know what? I'm gonna have to separate it on my page, so it's easier to pick out. I'll make a playlist called buying World Cup tickets, because we keep doing these streams, and still I've done this is my second stream on buying World Cup tickets, and I haven't been able to buy World Cup tickets. So we're gonna just keep going. Dope to see. Jihei, if you wouldn't mind, let us know about your experience in queue. When is the last days for the email? That we can't figure out in Machete. Like, I don't know when we're supposed to be receiving the email. They said you start as early as the 29th. Guillermo here, who did receive an email, he said that he received it on Monday, which is the 29th, when they said they would. I'm not sure if they're going to continue to send out emails over this next period, or if the time slot is only for October 1st, and if you didn't get the email, you didn't get it. But I did see a tweet. I did see a tweet that said that they are prioritizing sending the acceptance emails first, because there's just a lot of them. And then they're going to send the rejection emails to everybody else. So if you haven't gotten a rejection email yet, there is still hope, but more than likely you'll be rejected, because I think that's how it's working for me too. So for now, we're just chilling. Hopefully Guillermo and Jihei, who are in queue, can tell us what they end up seeing, and if they were able to purchase tickets. That would be great. Unfortunately, I thought I'd be able to screen share and show you what tickets I'm purchasing, but the only thing I have available to me is the RTBs, which is the right to buys. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. Sit down, calm down, please. The right to buy, do not buy those. It's like you purchase an ability to go and buy the tickets, but you can do that for free. They're not going to force you to pay. They're just kind of trying to generate, I guess, interest in each city. Yikes. Jeremy, I don't think we're on worst case scenario at all quite yet, but he says worst case scenario is buying from SeatGeek or websites like that. Ticketmaster, we know we'll have some Right now, if you see World Cup tickets on those websites, those are the hospitality tickets. They're probably worth $1,000, $1,200, something like that. But hopefully we can all buy on the FIFA website. I am Machete. I'll be getting home, see if the wife got an email. Yeah, double check. We should have, for the folks who got them, should have gotten them by now. Man, unfortunate. Finn says, greetings from Germany, still in queue, hoping for tickets. All right, so Finn got an email too. Do you know if it's possible to select games for specific countries in advance? Germany is in the visa presale. Yeah, you cannot select teams, right? Because we don't know what teams are going to be drawn where yet. The only teams you can select or games you can select are for the host nations, which is US, Canada, and Mexico. It tells us what their first 3 games are in the group stage. So I'll go back to the schedule. That's what we were looking at just before this. Hey. I know it's hard to see. Shoot, I'll zoom in. Doesn't really zoom in that much. So you can kind of see this is the FIFA World Cup schedule. I don't know if you can read this right here. It's very small. Let me just see. Yeah, even there it's small. But that's how you should be able to this is how you'll be able to see. And right here you can tell it says Los Angeles on June 12th is USA versus Team M4. So again, all the other teams that aren't host nations haven't been drawn yet, but we know that USA plays in Los Angeles, then they play in Seattle on the 19th, and then they play again in Los Angeles on the 25th of June. Canada should be the same. I would imagine that they would play in either Vancouver or Toronto. Let's see. Looks like they play in Toronto on the 12th as well. So the opener for Canada is in Toronto. And I would imagine Mexico City, has the first game of the tournament. June 11th, Mexico is playing in Mexico City. So these tickets would be for you to pick a city and hope that you get a good team, but you won't know which team you're doing. I Am Machete says you can select teams, but you need to travel to where they go. The question is, if your country doesn't make it, can you get a refund? Interesting. Now, I will say in my history, I haven't been able to do that. So when I did Qatar and we had the early pre-sale draw, I wasn't able to select a team. It was just select a stadium, select a date, but it wouldn't let me select a team. Do I know about BVB? Do I know about Dortmund Brablu? Yes, we know about Dortmund. December 5th is the day the World Cup draw will be happening. Yes. And I know that because that is my birthday, Guillermo. So that's what they're saying. They're saying the draw will take place on December 5th. And so once you get the tickets today or in the early second phase draw that it looks like I'm going to have to be purchasing tickets in, which starts October 27th, you just get blank tickets that say M4 versus C5 or whoever. And by December 5th, you should figure out what they are. I'm telling you, that's what happened for me for Qatar. And it was actually a really fun day. It was almost like a gender reveal, right? Like you have these tickets and you know you're going to be in the city at this date, but you have no idea who plays. And then once they announce the draw, you get to go back and go, oh shit, I had, Canada versus USA. Or, I mean, for me, again, in Qatar, I had Brazil versus Switzerland. That was the first one I figured out. And I was like, oh, that's great. And then I had USA versus Iran, which was fun. And I had France versus Tunisia. So all of them. Right now, Germany's not doing well in the qualifiers. Let me double check, Finn, because I don't remember Germany being in a tough group. You guys have 4 games left. Again, international break starts again next week. Let's see where you guys are in the World Cup qualification table. Damn. 3rd place with 3 points. Slovakia is in 1st place with 6 points. You have Slovakia, Northern Ireland, and Luxembourg in your group. You guys are going to get out of that group. Come on now. You guys just happened to play 2 and lose 1. Who did you lose to? Luxembourg? You lost to Slovakia, who's at the top of the group. Damn. All right, we're going to see. Can you send me the queue link to join Evil Storm? Apparently, unfortunately, I don't even have the queue link. Unfortunately, I didn't get it. You're supposed to be being sent emails, and I do not have the email, unfortunately. So I'm just here watching the other ballers in the chat. Guillermo, I think G-Hay was in here. Finn says he's in queue. So I'm waiting to see what their experience is, because unfortunately I didn't get an email, so I can't even join the queue. What about CONCACAF? How to get tickets from them if they still get qualifying points? Oscar, I'm a little confused at this question. Essentially, the CONCACAF, the rest of the CONCACAF nations outside of U.S., Canada, and Mexico are still working to qualify. So we have to, if you want tickets for specifically CONCACAF teams, you got to wait till after December 5th, for us to know who actually made it. And then I think they say, hold on, let me read it. Phase 3 is a random selection draw. This is the final draw for the FIFA phase, and they're not giving dates for the phase 3. But phase 3 will begin shortly after the final draw. So basically, it'll be after December 5th that phase 3 ticket draw will come, and then that's when you can pick tickets based on the teams and where they're being drawn. Now, I don't know how much those tickets will be. So if you're looking for, Trinidad has a good chance of qualifying, CONCACAF. Let's see the CONCACAF qualifiers while we're talking about it. World Cup qualification in CONCACAF. We have, Suriname has a good chance of qualifying. Jamaica is at the top. It's not Trinidad. I'm tripping. Jamaica's at the top of that group. Group B, Jamaica, Curacao, Trinidad and Tobago. Honduras. Yeah. So again, if you want to pick a specific team, you're going to have to wait till after December 5th. These are just the early kind of pre-sale lottery draws that are typically the cheapest tickets. So that's really what we're looking at. Finn says, okay, I'm not quite sure. FIFA says on their official website that you can choose team-specific tickets. So they do on their website. So I don't know if you might not be in the actual queue, Finn, because you can choose team-specific tickets, but that seems to be in the hospitality category. So there are hospitality tickets available for purchase. Finn, I'm curious if you just continue to click through, and I might actually do that with you to see how much those tickets are. Guillermo says still in queue over here and no timer just yet. So Guillermo is still kind of queuing, waiting to get in. But he, again, y'all, he received an email and has a time slot to actually go in and buy tickets. Blue Moon Tiger Ting says Chelsea will beat Liverpool this weekend. What do you think? I'm with it, bro. No Allison, no party for Liverpool. Liverpool finally showing some chinks in their armor. Evil Storm, the Q link is specific to each person's email. There's not just a general Q link that you can go and purchase from. You have to go on the website of FIFA, sign up, register your interest, and then they send you an email to log in. Okay, Finn does have a queue timer, and it says still 3/4 to go. I'm just trying to make sure, Finn, that you got your queue timer is from an email that you received from FIFA regarding the Visa presale draw, and not for this one. I'm going to show you. There's another timer you can get to. I'll show you it here. So this is exploring ticket options, right? I'm going to take you through it. So if you accidentally clicked over here to hospitality or somehow made it to the hospitality page, it will put you in a queue as well. So you can go browse matches, single matches. I'm sure you can search by teams as well. Oops, I'm not sharing this tab. So this is where it puts you. And this is I think this will look a lot like what the actual pre-sale draw looks like too. Group C versus FIX. Group TBD M13. H versus FIX. And Houston and Inglewood. So it really only gives you the location, but I want you to notice that what it's starting at. These are the hospitality tickets, y'all. Check those numbers. That says 1,800 per person US dollars. That is not what a FIFA ticket should be priced. I Am Machete got an email slot. It says, got the email, slot spot October 3rd, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Good for you, bro. So in 2 days, you get to go through this process. Man. I'm jealous, y'all. I want the email myself. Servietsky says, hi, bro. You really look like Olivier Giroud. What? What? Apparently, it's one Visa per household. Yeah, I think so. Man, I wish I could get you guys to share your screens with me to show me what you guys see. But I'm just going to wait here with you. I'm curious what you guys see. Again, we're going to be on here for a bit trying to get these sorted out, or at least get an understanding. And if you guys have any questions for me in terms of schedule or whatever, I can help you with that as you look to pick your tickets. I'm in the right one. It says from $60. Okay, you are in the right one. All right, so does that mean you're in, Finn? It's crazy to think about that 4.5 million billion probably has Visa cards and entered the lottery. Yeah, you're right. 4.5 million people are on this website waiting for an email. Even if you get the email, it says not guaranteed tickets. What the fuck? They said that too before I even got an email. I don't know what that means. That's why we're hoping Finn or Guillermo are able to get tickets and let us know what it looks like. Because these hospitality tickets are outrageous. I'm going to go back to the schedule. Let me double check all my old emails. Maybe it went to a different one accidentally. I don't know. Nothing from FIFA on my emails, y'all. Sheesh. I'm jealous of you guys. I wish I got an email. I want to go through this process. I want to get tickets. Yo, do me a favor, Finn or Guillermo or even I am Machete. What was the email you guys got? Obviously, it was probably like noreply.fifa.com or something like that. But yeah, what was the email that you received? Maybe I'm thinking maybe it went to my junk folder. Probably not, but just trying to. I'm gonna check my trash. Finn said no, still in queue. I found the website with a Q&A about team-specific tickets. Unfortunately, I can't send the link, but look up FIFA Visa presale Q&A and then look at question 16. All right, let's take a look. I was just on the FAQs. This is interesting. This is from the last time I was on FIFA. I guess I kept these windows open. Do you guys remember this queue? Luciano, what's up, brother? Luciano, today we're taking a look at World Cup tickets. Today was the first official window of the Visa presale draw for people who received emails. We're trying to see if that process is smooth, if people can buy tickets. Hold on. Finn said team specific tickets. Let's see if I can find that. I'm in the FAQ. Don't worry about what you're seeing above. It's kind of a fake page. I'm going to switch it. So this is the FAQ. General event information, general ticketing information, accessibility tickets, sales restrictions, seating, ticket cancellation, breach of ticketing rules, ID registration, visa requirements, ticket delivery, payment, stadium entry, visa presale draw. Let me see visa presale draw. He said there's a question number 16 about team specific tickets. That's not this one. This one is which tickets will be available for purchase if I'm assigned a time slot? Oh, that's kind of the same question. So this is if you got a time slot. If you're one of the lucky ones like Guillerme, I am Machete, or Finn over here. It says which tickets will be available for purchase if I'm assigned a time slot. Single match tickets, venue specific tickets, and it does say team specific tickets, even for the presale draw. So it does say it. What kind of card do I use? Let's click this because this is some of our situations. I did not receive a time slot to purchase tickets during the Visa presale draw. This is me right now and some of us on the stream, right? It says if you did not receive an email from FIFA assigning you a date to purchase tickets, subject to availability, during the period that starts at September and continues through October, then unfortunately your entry for the presales draw was not successful. As a result, tickets will not be available during the sales phase. Please note that there will be additional sales phases. Each phase may differ in purchasing process, payment methods, and ticket products. To explore other ways to attend matches for the World Cup, please note that you can guarantee your seats now and level up your experiencing by purchasing all-inclusive hospitality packages. They're really trying to get us into hospitality, get us into these $1,500 price points. Luciano says, World Cup tickets. I'm here in South Africa. The company I work for has an incentive that if you qualify, they will fly us out and watch the World Cup. Not sure if it's the final at MetLife. Hey, that's a dope incentive from your company. Tell them I want to join. South Africa currently, I think, neck and neck with Benin in y'all's qualifying group. These next two games are going to be serious for y'all. Let's take a look at South Africa. Since you're bringing them up, I would love to know you have Zimbabwe next and then Rwanda next. After tying Nigeria last game. Zimbabwe's 6th, Rwanda's 4th. You guys are currently 2nd, tied with Benin on 14 points, but just 1 point behind on goal difference. Yeah, so Finn, I still didn't see anything specifically about uh team specific tickets. Let me see if I can search. Question number 4 says, if I purchase team specific tickets, can I still buy single match tickets for group stage matches before the final draw takes place? The final draw again will take place on December 5th. If I successfully purchased a ticket, how will I receive my tickets? That is a good question. I imagine electronically. Are there tickets available for people with disabilities? Does my payment card need to be specific? It seems like it does for this Visa presale. What FIFA World Cup 26 matches are included in venue specific? Yeah, it doesn't say anything specifically about the team specific tickets. Let's try this though. You said I just read it, question 14 or 16? Okay. So yeah, it doesn't tell you much. It just tells you that team specific tickets will be available for purchase. So we're going to depend on you, Finn, once you're getting in the queue. Oh, man. Guillermo has been in the queue for 1 hour so far. He's been in since 8 a.m. our time, and still no timer to get in for him. Yeah, Finn, that's what we're thinking. That's what I Am Machete, I think, said too. Like you can purchase a ticket, but you won't know what ticket it is until the draw happens in December, which that makes sense. Yeah, it didn't take long for me in Brazil for 2014 either. We definitely were on the internet looking at tickets, but it didn't take long for us to get through the queue. And then once we got through the queue, we honestly did the same thing. We bought tickets without knowing they weren't team specific, without knowing what teams they were, and we just picked cities. And we went to Brasilia. That's where I saw Ivory Coast versus Colombia. Then we went to Rio and saw some games as well. I saw Germany, Ghana. So yeah, some interesting stuff. Don75 says up the Chels. Big dub today, yo. Yesterday, I should say. Big dub yesterday. Today we're gonna be watching Paris versus Barcelona. If anybody's interested and is interested in Champions League, I do watch parties as well, and we'll be watching that game later on today. Wow, look at this. It says if you buy team specific tickets, you're not eligible to purchase any single match ticket products during the stages before the draw. That's interesting. So if you buy team specific tickets, it won't let you just go, hey, I don't know what, I don't care what team it's going to be. I know I want to be in Mexico City on June 24th. I want whatever game that's going to be. On resale of tickets, you can only up it 15%, and there will be a fee on top of that resale. Interesting. Okay. Guys, I'm just waiting here like you. I'm just hoping Finn or Guillermo get through. Side note, for those thinking of charging $1,000 for a $60 ticket. Yeah, I'm going to be interested in seeing how this resale process holds up, because that makes sense, Guillermo. They were really strict for us in Qatar on reselling the tickets. But America is all about resale, and we know Ticketmaster already has stuff ready. So I'm curious if this stuff applies. Finn says, really hoping for Germany tickets. Last year we hosted the Euro Cup and didn't get a ticket. Oh man. Seema Jamali just joined here. Did you all receive the email assigning you a time slot and where you can purchase tickets? Some of us did, Jamali. Unfortunately, I didn't. I started the stream because I was hoping that I would receive an email this morning, and I didn't. So I'm just kind of on the website, but we've gone through FAQs and everything. I don't have an email, so it looks like I'm only going to be able to actually purchase tickets in the phase 2 early pre-sale window, which will start October 27th. The rest of us, though, we have Guillermo in here. He is in queue. He received an email. He's in queue. He says the red line here on my circle didn't even get close to 50%, probably like 1/3. When do those resales tickets open? The resales will probably open next year, sometime closer to the actual event. We're in pre-sale mode. Resales will open much later, but I think resales are probably going to be insane and out of control. We're going to have to see. Finn and Guillermo, just a word for you guys. I do remember back when we were doing this in early September 10th, just to register our interest. A lot of people's websites crashed once it finished the queue part. So I think it would be helpful probably to copy that URL you have in your bar right now and just paste it into a separate tab or separate window just in case. It helped me out. One of them crashed for me, and then I clicked to the other one, and the other one didn't. So might be worth it, but maybe not. Don't mess up your queue, though. Right. Good luck to all those who got the email. Thanks, Seema. I'm going to be trying to keep you guys up to date. I'm staying on stream because they're on stream with us, and so hopefully they can give us some good information. Otherwise, my next stream regarding this will have to be either when I receive an email, and I'll let you guys know, or it'll be on October 27th when the general public opens up for these pre-sale tickets. Phase 2 is with the rest of the globe. Yes, phase 2 is with everyone, but it's still pre-final draw in December. It's supposed to be opening up October 27th. That's what they said. It would be through October 27th through the 31st. So we'll have to see. I registered with 6 emails with 4 devices. Exactly. Got to do whatever you can to make sure your stuff doesn't crash and you get through. Wondering, did y'all pick just group stage matches or everything? I picked only group stage. You know, I saw something in the FAQ about that, Machete. I'm gonna double check that because I thought that was an interesting question. I'm just gonna share this and go through the interesting questions. Because somebody said, what if I only picked which tickets will be available for purchase if I'm assigned to time slot? Okay, so we saw this. Single match tickets, venue specific tickets, and team specific tickets will be available. Here it is. Question 5. When first filling out my FIFA ticketing account, I am asked to complete details like round of tournaments, venues. What am I a fan of? Will this affect my chances of getting a time slot in the Visa presale draw? That's not really the question I have. I think it was just kind of, what does that mean? It says no, completing details such as round of tournament, venue, and I am a fan of will not affect your chances of receiving a time slot. What does it affect? These FAQs aren't the most informative. I will say that. Here's one for you guys, Finn and Guillermo says, Finn, why are you using 2 different YouTube channels? Due to significant interest, it is possible to encounter a queue even during your allocated time slot. This is normal. Please do not refresh or close your browser. Doing so may result in losing your place in queue. Once you gain access, if the tickets you intended to purchase are no longer available, we recommend checking availability for other matches or categories. Please note that there will be an additional sales phase. Each phase may differ in purchasing process, payment methods, and ticket products. Visa is the exclusive payment method accepted during the Visa presale draw, which is open to Visa individuals with a valid, unexpired Visa, debit card, credit card. So that's all we got from there. Okay, Finn decided he didn't need to have his whole name on here. How do you say your last name? Pogamoller. Pogamoller. But makes sense. You did not pick Mexico, Finn. You guys let me know what you see. It seems like you guys are still in queue. I still have this random queue up myself. No, that's the match schedule. I don't know what this page is that says I'm almost there. Anyway, around here in queue, still anxiously waiting for a timer. Once you get your timer, or I guess once you get through the queue, just don't panic. Go and find your games. Again, I can help you guys. I'll go through the schedule if you guys want to just schedule out your games with me. Chelsea beat Liverpool this weekend. What you think? Blue Moon Tiger King. You already asked me this question, brother. I definitely think it's possible. Hopefully, we'll have more players back. Joao Pedro will start. Esteval will start. I'm curious if Garnacho will get a start against Liverpool. Based on his performance yesterday, it wasn't that amazing. Probably want to start with Pedro Neto and Esteval. Bring Garnacho off the bench. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm going to run to the bathroom since we've been queuing for about an hour and 12 minutes. Well, not queuing. I've been just waiting for you guys who are in queue. All right, y'all. I think my timer is stuck. It didn't move for 20 minutes. Does it not say a time? My circle on the timer is just flashing. And I mean, I can't tell, but it's moving really slow. Man, it might take you guys hours to get through the queue. Sheesh. I don't even know what page I'm on where it says almost there like this. This is not what the queue is supposed to look like. This is not where Guillermo and Finn are. Let me see if there's any other information I can find. Antonio Seathal says, I still didn't get an email. Good luck, though. Watching from Trinidad. Bro, appreciate you, bro. I didn't get an email either. Hoping Finn and Guillermo have some luck. But we'll see. If anything, we'll be back on October 27th and we'll be ready to purchase our tickets, but haven't heard any word. I'm looking, man. Guillermo said, I just opened up a new tab on my phone in the queue and the red circle is full, so it'll definitely take longer than my laptop will at almost 50. Yeah. What's my impression of the World Cup in Qatar? From a distance, it looked pretty staged, and the mood was not really there. I disagree. My experience was vibes, bro. It was a lot of people from a lot of different countries. The difference was it clearly felt like Qatar was built for the World Cup. It didn't feel like it had any kind of cultural or history of its own, which is true because they really did build up that city really for the World Cup over those last 10 years. I wonder what it's giving me characters for. But it was not a fake environment. It was definitely vibes, kind of campus type vibes. They had us living on these out in this weird campus on the outskirts of town, and then you went into town. You went down to the markets, and they were fire. So it was really a good experience. Despite what the Western media, I guess, were trying to tell, and I think the same story is true of what it's going to be like in the United States. A lot of people are afraid in the United States of the gun violence and the current presidential administration and whatnot. But one thing we do know about the U.S. is they like making money. They like putting on spectacles. So I don't think they're going to interfere with this World Cup as much as people are afraid of. 285566. Yeah, Guillermo. Another thing you can try to do is you can try to just grab your URL in your current loading screen and open it up in a separate browser in like a Google Chrome. Just copy that same URL link and paste it into Chrome and just see, just so you have two windows open doing the same thing. Oh man. Just to break the ice and anxiety for a bit, what's my opinion on the 3 World Cup mascots they got released recently? You know what? I haven't even looked at that. I appreciate that question. Let's take a look. I mean, I was definitely underwhelmed by the logo. Yeah, I will tell you, the Heat was, the Heat is a thing, but again, in a lot of the southern states, we have like very modern stadiums. In Texas, the AT&T Stadium, fully air conditioned, and in Atlanta, Georgia, which is, in my opinion, the best stadium in the U.S., the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, fully air conditioned, very bright, very comfortable. Yeah, there were those stadiums that you saw in the Club World Cup in Philadelphia and Cincinnati, I think, that got really hot, and there was some weather, there were some storms and stuff. But again, no, I don't think you have anything to worry about in terms of World Cup stadiums. I think it'll be fine. Guillermo, I'm going to take a look at these mascots. Whoa. You know what? I don't remember World Cup mascots to be, well, I do remember it was the turban for Qatar. So let me see if it'll show it on this website. So these are our World Cup mascots. We have Maple the Moose. Obviously, that's the Canadian one. Was born to roam, journeying across Canada's provinces, embracing the country's rich culture, a freestyle-loving artist, music enthusiast, dedicated goalkeeper. All right. For the U.S., I guess we have, nope, this is for this is for Mexico, is Zayu the Jaguar. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is Zayu the Jaguar from the jungles of southern Mexico. That's cool. Moose, Jaguar, and then, of course, the bald eagle, Mr. Kletch. Unquenchable thirst for adventure, soaring across the United States, embracing every culture. They're cool. I think it's cool. Pretty normal World Cup mascots. Guillermo said, if you come to Kansas City at the Arrowhead, prepare yourself with a cap, sunscreen. The heat in Missouri is no joke during the summer. Yeah. Is it being played at the women's soccer stadium, the Kansas City Current one, or is it being played at Arrowhead at the football stadium? Because that'll be interesting. Machete says, is Finn still waiting? Finn, are you still tapped in, bro? What does it look like on your end? Finn says the circle's half full. Oh, yeah, okay. You're going to be playing at the football stadium, Arrowhead. Arrowhead is an open stadium, y'all. Pretty hot in the summertime. I'm curious how many games will be at Arrowhead. I have the schedule up here right now. I can tell you guys. Why is it? Arrowhead is getting 4 group stage matches and 1 round of 16 match and 1 quarterfinal match. Okay. 6 matches in Arrowhead in July. Finn says, to be honest, I predicted at least 2 to 3 hours ago. Yeah, man, for the Visa presale, I got lucky. I got in within 5 minutes, but a lot of people talked about it took hours, multiple hours to get there. We might have to part 2 this, y'all, because at this point, we're just kind of waiting. I'm cool waiting here with you because I'm just watching Champions League at this point anyway, but I wish there was something we could show everybody else. Maybe what we'll do, maybe I'll give this 20 more minutes and then I'll cut this stream. And when I come back for my Champions League stream in a couple hours, if you guys are around, I would love for you guys to pop back in and tell us your World Cup experience. What I'll do is I'll go live 30 minutes before the Paris and Barcelona game, and we can get updates for that. That should be in about 2 hours on the dot. So hopefully you guys can pop back in and tell us your experience. Joel G says, I'm at work doing nothing.
That's unbelievable. That's 40. I did a 40. Man, your draft stock just went up. Yeah. I was like 40, like that's like the 1% of 1% of 1%. Very impressive. 3 inches. 3 more rings. You got it. I think it's 3 more rings for 40, man. Let's get 40. Baby, that's unbelievable. That's 40.
Hey, Guillermo, I just saw you added me on Instagram. I'm going to tap in with you there. Joel G said, did I purchase any of the RTBs? No, bro. I think the RTBs don't make any sense. It's not purchasing tickets. It just purchases a right to buy. And quite frankly, everybody has a right to buy for free. So I did not do that. I think it's a scam. My mother sent me the same thing probably a couple of weeks ago when she saw it. I would not advise anybody purchasing the RTBs. I'm not going to lie. It does feel very scammy. Very scammy. You know, a friend of mine and I were thinking about like a plot, like the Italian Job or something like that, like a big theft plot. And think about it, you know, 4.5 million Visa card holders signed up and typed in their credit card information into this website. What if FIFA or whoever, a hacker, came in and siphoned 1 cent from every account that that signed up, right? You know, what would that look like? How much money could you get? Would anybody even notice? If shoot, even $1, if it just took $1 from everybody's credit card, that's obviously $4 million, right? And then, you know, if you took one penny from all of that, you know, you got four, you know, 400,000 dollars to your disposal. That'd be interesting. Lars Schenkels. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. What's up, brother? He says hello. I got 12 of those bad boys. You got 12 RTBs? Man, I hope it does work out in your favor. And Joel G, again, I'm going to go live again during the second phase ticket purchase window, since I obviously didn't get an email. I'm just waiting on the people who did get an email. But come live with me on October 27th. I'm curious to see how the RTBs work for you. Lil Fanta, Chelsea, the best. What's up, Lil Fanta? What's up? It's good to see another blue in my chats. Come tap in, man, whenever we do watch parties. Yesterday was a good win for us, even though it was still kind of an ugly game, but it was a good win. So I love seeing fellow blues pop in the chat. Finn said, what's RTB? RTB is right to buy. It's something that FIFA has been sending out to people who have been signing up. They allow you to purchase. Matter of fact, let's kind of look it up together. Maybe it's on the FAQ page. They allow you to purchase a right to purchase tickets. And I don't know exactly how it works. So let's look it up in the FAQ and see. RTB. All right, so I'm on the FAQ page of FIFA, and it says can you purchase tickets on behalf of somebody else? Man, they don't have anything in the FAQ about right to buy. I was able to access my FIFA ticketing account during my allocated date and time slot, successfully completed my ticket. Team specific tickets. It doesn't say anything about right to buy. Let's look up. Here we go. This is a page that says understanding the right to buy. A right to buy is a special digital asset offered through FIFA Collect that grants fans exclusive, hold on, just gave me a newsletter pop-up. That grants fans exclusive permission to purchase FIFA tickets for specific matches such as World Cup 26 or World Cup 25, Club World Cup 25. This unique offering grants you direct access to ticket sales through reserved slots, enabling RTB holders to buy tickets within a specific window dedicated to FIFA Collect. So that's kind of the thing. Joel G, I'm curious, if you purchased a RTB, you know, when is your window to actually purchase tickets? With tens of millions of fans expected to be interested in FIFA tickets for the tournament, the competition will be fierce. For instance, during the FIFA World Cup in Qatar, approximately 3.4 million tickets were available, but over 23 million requests were submitted, demonstrating a staggering nearly 7-to-1 demand to supply ratio. As a further example, tickets for the World Cup are traditionally allocated through the lottery systems, where fans submit requests and hope for a random selection to secure their tickets, which is how I've done it every World Cup I've been to. This will be my 4th World Cup. How to earn RTBs, glory packs the direct way. You just purchase them. Challenges the collector's way, open packs and reveal collectibles. Man, they're making this like FC25 packs or something like that. Dennis Estrada, I didn't get a time slot either, brother, so don't worry about it. 4 for Houston, 4 for Dallas, and 4 for LA. Okay. I got my cost down to an average of 200 to guarantee a ticket of some sort. Machete said, I need to go to bed from the night shift. If I'm on October 3rd, I'll share my experiences with you this side of the north. Take care. Appreciate you, Machete. Machete, I don't know if you have Instagram, but tap in with me on Instagram, Eat, Pray, Ball. Because I don't know if you can send me a direct message over YouTube. But yeah, I'll go live if you want to share your process on the 3rd. But get some rest, brother, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon. Guillermo says almost 2 hours. Yeah, we're at an hour and 37 minutes now in queue. Who knows when I'll get a timer? But, well, I will be here. Yeah. Joel said, I understand when you say everyone has the right to buy, but at the same time, not everyone will have the opportunity to buy. And that is a fact. Big fact. I felt like $200 was a good deal to guarantee a ticket. And I agree. I agree with that. I just, the issue is like nobody really understands the process. So it's tough. It's like, I don't want you wasting your money on these kind of gimmicks that FIFA are employing. You know, hopefully the RTBs will be available for you. I don't know. Are the RTBs going to be available after the World Cup draw? Because that makes sense. Because that means, yeah, you're securing the ability to purchase tickets for teams that you know will be playing for hopefully a reasonable price. Jihei says, anyone succeeded in purchasing tickets? I'm still in the queue. Jihei, curious what your queue looks like. Are you getting a timer or is it just that kind of red circle that's loading? That's what it seems to be here with Finn and Guillermo. Guys, I'm trying to see. Jihei said just a red circle halfway through, no time shown. That seems like what everybody on this chat is experiencing as well. We have an RTB AMA thing on Tuesday with FIFA Collect. Okay. Next Tuesday. And you're supposed to get more info. Okay. See, that's the crazy thing. It's like, if this just falls on a bad day for you, if you got some work to do or something like that, this is crazy. And then maybe that's when an RTB is more important. If you don't have the time to actually sit and wait for these tickets. Only 4 tickets a household per game. Finn, where are you getting this information? Is this FAQ stuff, or are you any further along in your queue? Lacetti Namo is in the building. PSG versus Barcelona tonight. Yes, sir. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to hang on to this stream for about 20 more minutes until around 10 o'clock. And then I'm going to hop back on the stream at 11:30. So an hour and a half from now. And hopefully we can get some info from Finn or Guilherme about their experience. Joel G says, I am military, so it helps me plan way ahead, because if it all works out rightly or just decently right, I can take leave and have everything. Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely. You want to be able to like plan. Everybody's in different situations. Everybody's got different ways to get these tickets. And so I'm just trying to find a successful way. Whoever found a successful way. So again, though I don't recommend RTBs, I am curious how they end up working, especially for this process. Again, no ticket process in the 4 World Cups that I've been to have been the same. It's all different in some way, some shape or form. Lacetti says Barca is winning. I got my money on PSG. I guess we're going to see. I'm curious because PSG is not going to have all their team, but it's really going to be what we wanted to see last year, right? It's really going to be a team that is very successful when they counterattack. I mean, 2 teams that are very successful when they counterattack. It'll be a very open game, I think. DOKS says, do I think the youngster from France? That's interesting. Good call, DOKS. Do you go back? Did I go back when it was in the States? Went to the Rose Bowl to see Spain versus Korea. In 94 or so. I don't remember. I don't think I went to any World Cup games. I was living in Atlanta in 94. And I was younger than you. I was probably about what, 8 or 9 in 94. You would think I could do simple math. I was 6. I was born in 88. I was 6 in 94. And yeah, I don't remember much about it. I just remember my dad getting me a Roberto Baggio World Cup poster. Luis Enrique says, Vamos jugar junto Copa del Mundo 2026. Luis Enrique. Okay, my friend. Guillermo says, at the website was saying that everybody entered at the lottery were supposed to receive a time slot by Monday. Could you double check your lottery website? Yeah, I'll double check, but I didn't receive anything by Monday. So I'll tell you what it tells me when I go to the lottery. It says this. It says, welcome to your FIFA ticketing account. The World Cup presale draw for FIFA card holders opens on the 10th of September at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. This means you can no longer submit or cancel your entry into the Visa presale draw. Following a random selection process, which apparently I was not selected, FIFA ticketing will begin notifying you of your results no earlier than the 29th of September 2025. That was Monday. That was when some people got their notification, but I have not received any email, any notification. You will be notified via email whether or not you've been successful in the presale draw, which I haven't been notified. If you are successful, you will be informed of a specific date and time slot during which you can purchase tickets subject to availability. That's what you're doing right now, Guillermo. And any successful entrants may receive a notification of up to 48 hours before their designated time. So obviously we had Machete on here. He was working the night shift, so he's gone now. He's went to sleep. But he received an email today, he said, and he said his time slot is October 3rd. So there's still a possibility. I could receive an email today about 3rd. I could receive an email tomorrow. Maybe my time slot's on the 4th. We'll see. If I do receive that email, believe me, make sure you guys subscribe, tap in, because I will be going live to actually show my process. Lissetti said Messi or Ronaldo. I choose Ronaldo. He says, Luis Enrique says, I prefer Van Bat, Luis Enrique. Joel G, hat game was fun. Which game was fun? The Cotton Bowl game, Korea versus yeah. And I guarantee you these games are going to be so great. This World Cup that's coming up, even with this bigger expanded format. Dennis Estrada said, I got the email this morning. Okay, dope. So did you go into queue? If you got the email this morning, is it saying that your date is October 3rd? Curious. Maybe we can kind of hone in on how this works a little bit. Again, guys, we've been live for about 2 hours now. I'm going to get off in about 10 minutes, get some work done, and I'm going to pop back in for my Champions League live stream. That's going to start today in about an hour and a half, an hour and 40, Barcelona versus PSG. So I'm going to start that stream early, about 30 minutes earlier than the game starts, so we can kind of download. Hopefully Guillermo or Finn or Jihei have been we're successful and able to actually get into the ticket purchasing areas. So we'll hopefully do that. Finn said he got his 3 days ago. That would make sense. That was Monday. That was the 29th. That's when they said that, you would get the email. Officially halfway through, probably maybe 2 hours, I'll get a timer. You're right. Just stay, brother. Just keep going. Dennis said, yep, he got the email today, and it says that his window is October 3rd at 11 a.m. That is the same window as Machete, who was just on the stream, and he said the same thing. So at least we know that if you get the email, it's going to be for 3 days. I'm curious if anybody got the email yesterday and has a date of October 2nd. Curious if that works. 4 tickets a household for 1 game is what Finn said. Yeah, you said that earlier, Finn. I'm curious where you got that information. Is that on an FAQ somewhere, or is that just are you seeing something different while you're waiting? We're all trying to figure it out. Lissetti got his email today. Okay. I'm glad y'all are getting your emails. I did not get any email. FIFA did not select me. Yep, no email, man. Not one email. Four tickets. Mine is moving fast now. I just have 1/4 to go. All right, Finn is almost there. Let me see. I'm gonna go to my email one more time. Hey. Guillermo said, lucky you, Finn. I'm still halfway through, but hopefully it goes faster. Excuse me.
They have the best squad in the Premier League, no doubt. No, absolutely no doubt. But when you watch that game yesterday, the way they played, I don't think mentally.
All right, I'm gonna hop off here in about 5 minutes, guys. Hopefully, I can get back in touch with you guys, Guillermo and Finn. And Guillermo, I'm glad you tapped in with me on Instagram. I might DM you and just double check. I'll be back on stream in about an hour and a half for this Champions League match we're gonna watch. And yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll see if you guys were able to successfully purchase tickets. Lissetti says, I'm predicting the World Cup final 2026 is going to be Spain versus Portugal. I would love that. I would actually love it to be France versus Portugal. or Brazil versus Portugal. That's really what I would love. I would love Neymar and Cristiano to have a chance to crown themselves. But, you know, it's going to be tough for Brazil. Portugal are in a good place. Brazil, I don't know. We got Champions League on right now, by the way. I'm watching Newcastle versus Union St. Galloways. Ugh. Dennis Estrada says, good luck. Good luck, guys. Finn, for me, it's bedtime in 2 hours. I hope France loses early. You know, I think Mbappe, Neymar, and Cristiano all have reasons to be crowned king, and I would love to see that. I would also like to see Morocco make another deep run. You know, Gabon seem like they're going to make it into the World Cup. I would like to see how they do. Senegal, a good team. Really interested in what they do. What other teams? Spain, I just don't think it's Spain's time yet. They won the Euros. You know, they got a good squad, good young players. Nico Williams, Lamine Yamal. They don't have a striker. They're just kind of like, man, should a team that's got whose best striker is Alvaro Morata probably be winning the World Cup? I don't know. We'll see. I know a lot of people have a lot of faith in Lamine Yamal. Y'all just got to recognize he's only 18. He's got a long ways to go. I think he's generational, though. I think he's a generational talent. But even in this landscape, there can't be Pele's anymore. There can't be players who just take over World Cup. I don't know. Mbappe was 18, 19, and he took over that Argentina game France played in the World Cup, certainly. But we'll have to see. I'm excited to see Yamal play against some real comp in PSG today, though. That's that I'm excited about. And Pedri and all of them, right? Pedri versus Vitinha. I just don't know who Luis Enrique is going to start at striker. Gonzalo Ramos today. Finn said Mbappe is young. He has enough time. True. But he's been to 2 World Cup finals already. Wow, Tonali, great goal. Newcastle have their way. Cross it into Woltemade, and if he doesn't get a header, then follow it up. France, Argentina was wild, bro. It was not probably, it was the greatest World Cup final ever. I haven't seen them all, I can tell you, but I can just know there's not going to be any World Cup final like that. Mbappe hat trick, Messi 2 goals. The stars showed up. It started off with you know, France players getting subbed off. Man, does that goal go to Woltemade or does that goal go to Sandro Tonali? All right, guys. this is where I'm gonna leave you, Finn. Hopefully, before you go to bed, you get this chance to get through to these tickets. I'm gonna be on stream in about an hour and a half, so I'll be back. Hopefully, you guys can pop back in and tell me your experiences. Guillermo, same with you. Been on here for 2 hours. Not much information on my end, but I'm glad we are all trying to do this. Good luck, my friends. Again, I'll be back 2 hours. Come tap in. It'll be the Champions League stream of the day. PSG versus Barca, but we're going to definitely talk about these World Cup tickets beforehand. Until then, my friends, good luck, and I will tap back in with you. I'll see you later. Hopefully, you guys subscribe for those who are wanting to kind of stay and keep on track. I'm gonna do this right now. I'm gonna create like a World Cup ticketing playlist on my YouTube channel, just so we can keep these lives in succession. But yeah, another 2-hour live stream. I will see you guys soon. 2010 World Cup was fun in South Africa. I don't know if it was as wild. Definitely that Uruguay versus Ghana game was wild. I'll never forget it. The streets will never forget that game. Lissetti, come tap back in about an hour and a half, y'all. I will see you soon. Peace.